So hey buddy, have you heard about all the things that people do wrong when they...
I'm looking at the camera because that's who my audience is.
People make some serious mistakes when they they're kind of trying to get started with money.
Well, and we're learning this, right? We're not financial experts.
Well, I'm a financial expert.
That's true. Ken fancies himself a financial expert, but it is a lesson that probably everybody has to learn. And what we've learned through just a little bit of research is there's 4 steps, right? In your
Four levels
of
wealth. First level is no wealth. That's where most people start. You don't have any money. You don't have any savings.
So you basically living paycheck to paycheck, like just barely getting enough money to pay the rent?
Yeah.
That kind of a thing? What's the next level?
Well, and one disaster away from not being able to pay the rent. Did you say that?
Right. Well, paycheck to paycheck, I said paying the rent. Okay, and then the next level is what? Next level is what?
3 to 6 months of financial savings. Savings.
So now I'm able to pay the rent because I've got the emergency money set aside. We call that peace of mind money.
Yeah.
And you have that money set aside, so therefore, if you can't, something comes up, you can still pay the rent because you've got that 3 to 6 months of your expense.
And it's a big step. It's a big step up in terms of security and peace of mind, and it's a big step down in terms of stress. You're super stressed at level 1, not quite so stressed at level 2, but don't fall into the trap of running out and buying something because you're feeling good about where you're at. That's the mistake most people make.
Well, and of course, that critical one is that step 1, right? You just get out of step 1. Step 1, we said you're stressed, your marriage, your relationships, all that stuff's stressed out because you're barely making ends meet. You barely get a little bit of breathing room and you go, and then you buy another car.
And you go buy a Disney timeshare.
And then if you do that, you could go back a step.
Yeah,
right?
you go back a step and now you're stressed again. That's no good. So the key here is you want to want what you have and have what you want. You got to be set. You can't have the belt so tight that you're busting a gut to spend some money.
And don't think that the next thing you purchase is what's going to make you happy.
That's
what we're learning
true.
is that when you get to there and you settle in with that 3 to 6 months of saving or even more, then all of a sudden you're feeling super good about where you're at, and life is much easier. And even though you don't have the thing.
Yeah, right. And even 2 more levels of security, right? We're just getting started.
What's the next
level 3 is financial security. So now you've got no money worries, no stress. You're accumulating more and more financial wealth. You've got 6+ months of savings that you could draw on in the case of an emergency, and you're not worried about making the rent.
But basically, you're making more money, and this is a working person, making more money than you're spending every month. So you're generating this cash savings, this peace of mind money, this wealth. It's growing. It's growing as opposed to you being on the ragged edge, and it's a huge relief.
Right.
But the challenge can be, we're going to talk about in a little bit, is kind of getting back out of that, getting back into that other thing. So what's the 4th one, Ken?
4th one is financial freedom, and this is defined as your passive income is actually greater than what your expenses are. So there's 2 ways to get there, right? You can reduce your expenses to such a low amount that you don't need a lot of money coming in, but also you need some passive forms of income. And we can talk about that. We can spend a whole episode talking about that. But let's assume you're there, then man, you can do just exactly what you want every day, all day.
Yeah, so huge relief in stress. I mean, you can literally vacation, you can go where you want, you can be with who you want, you can spend the time on the things that matter most to you, because you don't have to go to work for the man,
right? Because
that's the passive income part of it, right?
Right.
And you're making more money than you're spending. So you still have to be mindful of it. Why do we have to be mindful of it, Ken?
Well, because the tendency is to squeeze the belt so tight in those early stages that when you go up a level, you get that 3 months of savings, all of a sudden you go out and buy a new car. And now, boom, there goes your savings, right? You saved $5,000 and bang, it's gone in down payment, and you got a $500 a month payment to boot. Now you're right back down there in level 1. You don't want to be there.
Where you're working paycheck to paycheck. So the takeaway that we have taken from this is you will feel much better if you can delay those things that you think are going to make you happy with just living in where you're at as you go up this level. You'll feel this tremendous relief of stress.
And if it's something you have to have, I would say make sure you pay cash for it. So you have the 3 months plus the $5,000 a month to buy whatever your gadget is that you want.
Or the car, or you've saved up the money for the car. And sometimes it's difficult to do because you feel like you really, really need it kind of thing, but you talk yourself into these things when a lot of times you can delay that a little bit and be in a much better spot.
Be aware of sliding back to the other level. That's bad juju. So we hope this is helpful.
Yeah, and as we've gotten our arms around some more of this stuff, I know I personally have felt a huge relief in having more money than there is month.
More money than there is month. And hey, don't be afraid to reach out to someone you know and get a coach. You know, we coach. We'll help you. Ask us to coach you. We'll coach you. We'll spell it all out for
An
you.
objective third party is always super helpful. So if you want more information, just go onto our website, reach out to connect to us, send us a DM. We'd love to help you out any way we can. You know, we are reinventing ourselves as just helping people. Like that's what we're doing. Everybody's got to have a purpose. Our purpose is to help people in their health, in their finances, you know, and in their personal life.
That's right.
Good.
That's right. So if you need healthy finances, healthy mind, healthy body, we're here for you. Check us out, klarhealth.com.